Hi, my name is Nicole Waldron, and I'm here to talk about education and why I feel it's important. Um, Education, especially nowadays, is very important, especially if you're trying to get into the job market and get a job that will bring home some kind of decent salary. Whether you're single or you have kids or you have a family or something like that, you're going to need something to provide for your family or just for yourself. Um, Take for instance someone who graduated from high school, they never decided to go to college, they thought college wasn't for them, or getting some kind of degree wasn't for them for various reasons, and they decide to work in a store, a retail store, or work in a fast food chain, or in a school as the janitor, the lunch lady, something like that. While they're going to be bringing home money to pay their bills, they're going to be one of those people that, the farthest they'll ever go is maybe a manager or assistant manager of the store, or lead cook or something like that. Something that, after they've got years of experience, it's really not going to, whilst all that experience is going to show for something, it's not going to show for something that they could have done even better if they went to school and got a degree. Um, Most jobs today, if you want to get, mid to high salary or five-figure salary, you have to have at least a bachelor's degree, not even an associate's degree anymore. Bachelor's degree, master's, PhD, whatever. Um, and you're not going to be able to get anywhere if you don't go and get a degree in something. Even if you go to a trade school and you pick up a trade or something like that, it's still education that you have to get to where you're trying to go. Um, Me personally, I went to school. I ended up getting a degree in criminal justice, and I was working. Whilst I was going to school, I was working for this law firm for about 6 years or something like that. And when I first started working there, I was working like as an admin assistant, administrative assistant, assisting the attorneys and answering phones and doing clerical work and stuff like that. And while that was enjoyable and I got to learn a lot of things, I got to a point where I knew my job like the back of my hand. I was able to do the job by myself, like run a whole department by myself, and it did give me a lot of experience. Finally, I graduate, I was coming close to graduating, getting my degree, and, I moved up a little bit and I learned some more stuff and I was able to get that bump up in pay. And then, again, it wasn't enough. I still didn't have my degree yet. They even told me at my job that, we'd like to give you more. You're really smart. You gotta, you work real hard. You catch on to everything quickly, but sorry, you don't have a degree yet, or you don't have a certification in something, so we can't really move you up. We can't really do anything for you. You're pretty much stuck where you are. Finally, I get my degree. I didn't get a bump up in that company, mainly because, cutbacks, layoffs, that kind of thing. But recently, I just got a job working for the county attorney's office, and the position that I won't tell you the position that I got, but I will tell you it was between myself and another person. This other person, they had been working in the legal field for a long time and doing a lot of different things, and they were just as ambitious and just as hardworking as I was. And turns out I ended up getting the position because I was the one that went to school and earned a degree. That person, all they had under their belt was work experience and a few years of college, but never really finishing, no real ambition, and they ended up being in a lower position than me. That doesn't mean that they weren't, good enough, to learn the things of the position, the different tasks and duties of the position to carry it out, but what the company was looking for was that piece of paper that said, hey, this person went to school, they learned all these different things, they have a better knowledge of criminal justice and all the things that we're looking for to even advance them further, and this one doesn't. So we're going to give it to the person who has that education, who has that little piece of paper that says, I went to school, I went and, I understand the basic structure of how things work better than the person who while you've got the work experience, it'll be harder for you to break down that structure that we're looking for. So for me, I went from being someone who knew how to do administrative duties in a legal setting to someone who ended up being a higher person in a legal setting with just that one degree. And that was it. And I hope that I can move further in my education so I can get even farther up there. You know, sometimes it's not always about the money, which, while good, you know, it's not as rewarding as, you know, me saying I've got this degree here and I worked hard in school, I worked hard at work, and look how far it got me. So if there's anything that you can ever take away from going to school, even if you don't use it or you don't feel like you're using it for a while, is once you have that education, that's something that no one can ever take away from you. You can get laid off, you can get fired, but you got that education, you got those smarts, you know, in your head. They can't take anything away from you. So make sure you go to school.